My mom is not dead yet, but she's been exhibiting some really risky behaviors. No, she's not self-harming. She's not using intravenous drugs or hitting the pipe. She's not sleeping around with strange men she's met at clubs. In fact, I don't think there are any men, strange or otherwise, in her woman's club at church. And she's not taking the twerking for grannies class down at the senior center. But she's clearly doing things that worry me. Last month, she told me of a strange van that was driving slowly through her neighborhood. She described the van as, quote, one of those big windowless kidnapper vans that people sometimes use for deliveries. She just knew that this windowless kidnapper van was up to no good, so she followed it. She followed it, y'all. My mom is the Barney Fife of Oak Park Village. Mom, I screeched, that wasn't smart. Well, she said I wanted to see what the perp was up to. She went on to rationalize that it would be hard for the driver of the van to commit any crimes while a member of the neighborhood watch committee was hot on his tail. She did decide to turn it over to the police after about 15 minutes of tailing the culprit. 15 minutes. She was a little bit miffed when the dispatch, that's the person that answers her calls, told her that it was not illegal to drive around doing nothing. She was even more miffed when dispatch told her that another vehicle, just for the sake of following him around, borderlined on stalking, even if she was a 75-year-old card-carrying member of the Neighborhood Watch Committee. In her defense, she is pretty formidable when she stands in her front yard shaking her canes as the neighborhood kids go speeding down her street. Then there was the time that her little dog Chrissy got out of the yard. Chrissy was putting out vibes that she was single and ready to mingle. So my mom got into her trusty minivan, not to be confused with the big windowless kidnapper van, and she tracked Chrissy down along with about 10 neighborhood strays who liked the way Chrissy wagged her tail at them. My mom rolled down her window and whistled for Chrissy to come. But that Chrissy, she's a hussy, and she did not respond to my mom's whistles. So my mom just punched the little door open button on her van and whistled again. And in no time at all, my mom had a dog secured within the confines of her van. However, it wasn't her dog. And it wasn't just one dog, it was 6. And they were big, and they were strays, and they were in the back of her van. Mom! I sighed and I shook my head. Why would you open the door to let stray dogs in? Well, she explained, I didn't want them in there. I wanted Chrissy. On another occasion, she told me of picking up hitchhikers who looked cold. One afternoon, she completed a 4-hour road trip by herself to buy a jar or 12 of Amish jelly. And one late Saturday night, as she heard on her very own police scanner that she keeps on her nightstand in her bedroom, of a high-speed chase in our smallish town, and she got out of bed and joined the pursuit from a safe distance, just in case. Just in case what? Granted, she's an adult. She can take care of herself. But she's a 75-year-old woman with an artificial knee who obviously needs supervision. I was in the middle of explaining the dangers of allowing stray dogs and stray humans into her van when I suddenly stopped short in my just say no speech. Our journey had taken us from, don't let my mom know what I've done, to, what has my mom done now? Never once, through my years of runaway attempts, late-night bike rides, and creative license about where I was on any given Saturday night, did she say to me, I hope you have a child just like you. And I think that was by design. It became clear to me that she had planned all along to play the part of worrisome individual once I had settled myself down. In my defense, I was not that bad of a kid. Those 4 weeks in college when I dated a boy named Boner notwithstanding. I was 21. I had brought home my fair share of stray animals and stray people. I had chased after cute boys in their 1985 Fieros. I had thought of myself as indestructible, much in the same way my mother was thinking of herself. Now, maybe Our roles are reversing. I wasn't entirely comfortable with the level of worry that change brought with it. I knew I couldn't be with her 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And when I reconciled myself with that thought, the voice in my head sounded a whole lot like my mother. My mom and I were swapping positions. I'm the funny one. The roles are reversing, or maybe we're both strong-willed and independent women who came into our own at different times of our lives. I spread my proverbial wings in my early 20s, and she in her 60s and 70s. So maybe I just need to let her be. I need to trust that as her daughter, I've done everything I could to raise her upright. I've tried to prepare her for this world. But just in case she's not quite ready, I'm signing up for the Twerkies for Grannies class just to keep an eye on her. It's hard to let our moms go, but it's never too late to learn how to shake what your mama gave you.